We set up Community Energy South as a regional hub. And so this will just take you through that. And hopefully my slides are going to move on. Oh, they are. So our vision today is that every unitary or district and borough council should benefit from community energy. And we want to see that happening across the country. And this presentation will hopefully share with you some of these learnings for that. Philip explained what community energy is, and these slides will all be available, but it's very much the point that it's both renewable energy and also giving energy advice and setting up energy advice networks as well. So we have a saying, powering up with renewable energy, we're powering down and giving people low carbon energy advice and helping them with trusted local advice. And that's what community energy is all about. So some of the co-benefits of community energy, and I shared this presentation with GB Energy last week with the new team of 40 working on GB Energy and the local power plan and the GB Energy's Warm Homes plan. So to unlock community energy further, we're looking at shared ownership to see if large-scale renewables could be going to shared ownership. It's a thing in Wales. We've had it before, so we lobby quite heavily for that. But also to unlock local supply. The amount of times I get asked by people asking us about, can we put solar on a roof, but can we sell it to our neighbours? Local supply through the local electricity bill is really important. Community energy brings resilience. There's a community energy fund and also other community benefits. Philip mentioned the Community Energy Fund, but it's a great resource for communities to access. So do reach out about that. Community Energy England is the national organisation that looks after community energy in England. They are right on it with policy and advocacy and bringing organisations together and doing regional events and working with the Energy Learning Network with Ashton. Community Energy Pathways, we look at capacity building. So building the bridge with local authorities and the community energy sector to get to net zero together. We have a whole program that we embed in Community Energy Pathways, and we're running that with Leicestershire County Council, and which we're going to hear about with the LCAM project and with Green Fox after later on in the session. But what we want to try and do with community energy is bring top-down policy with bottom-up action. And that's where local authorities and community energy groups can really work together. And I'll share these slides. But community energy combines sort of community finance with public finance, helps attract grants like the Lottery Fund or the Community Energy Fund. It looks at innovation with the energy networks, but also becomes an advocacy for local authorities to work with their communities to get to net zero together. With our pathways strategy, I'm just going to check the time, yeah. With our pathways strategy, we look at the local authorities' net zero commitments and your own strategies, and we take out the lines that link to community, and we look to build a community energy network that aligns with that. Stakeholder mapping is fundamental. It is in all forms of infrastructure and communications, but also skills development, looking for funding opportunities, business models around the community energy sector. In all, we support 48 community energy groups. We give them constant advice and ongoing, and we work over 15 local authority areas. A little bit about Avesco, because we're going to hear about Green Fox in Leicestershire after the break. But Avesco is a wonderful organisation that is kind of the epitome of community energy group. They put their original scheme on the local brewery and raise the money from the community, who now own that in shares. They run a schools program with 12 schools. They run a solar farm called the Ouse Valley Solar Farm, which is a subsidy-free, community-owned solar farm, and Meadow Blue, which is a 5 megawatt solar farm. They have a Get Bikery project. They're part of a £2 million climate action fund, and their energy advisors reach about 2,000 homes a year. Philip again shared this slide, but it's really important. The community energy organisations that have really thrived, those are the ones that work in tandem and coordinate with their local authorities. So the really advanced groups like in Oxford or in Lewis, where I'm from, or in Plymouth or Bath and West, really have strong relationships with their local authorities so they can work together. And we want to try and get groups up the line so they get more coordinated. And another concept around community energy in a larger county area is to form a community energy hub, but also have community energy organisations represented in each of the districts and the boroughs. And that's where we're moving to in Leicestershire. Our Powering Down programmes, just to give you an idea, in all today, we reach about 24,000 homes. And it's our way of sharing funding with all of our community energy group members so that they can employ coordinators to run their community energy groups. And in all, we distribute around about £2 million over the last year to our community energy groups. And those are providing sort of leaving no one behind advice on energy, and you know, from grant support to scam awareness, smart meters, installing renewables. We also look at community-led planning, which is really important. You know, if we can really engage communities heavily, like in a cluster approach like this, where you have a market town and villages, you can really start to create local marketplace for community energy, both on renewable powering up and on a retrofit side as well. And in a number of our areas where we support now, have in their market towns, they have energy advice hubs, which are on the high streets so that people can walk in and get energy and climate advice, but also so that people can have a local plan. And also dropping into in depth into parishes. This one in East Sussex has a decarbonisation plan, and we've modelled 17 small-scale renewable sites, and nearly 600 air source heat pumps could be installed in this village. So we're looking at how that works. I'll leave these slides, but I've come to the end of my talk now. But the Net Zero Terrace project up in Rosendale is a programme that we helped set up with Rosendale Valley Energy, and they're looking at some terrace streets in an old mining town that have really come under disrepair, and whether they could completely refurbish them over a kind of 40-year programme. It's a really exciting project. I'll leave my slides for you to look at, but in all the groups that we support, they run 84 school programs with solar on schools. There's all sorts of benefits, and again, Philip touched on that. Thank you very much.